Alright guys, let's go ahead and talk about the this keyword. THIS. I'm sure you've seen it before, and a lot of people seem to be kind of confused by it, so I'll explain it really easily. Whenever you see the keyword this, it just refers to the thing that called it. So that's even more confusing. So let's go ahead and look at an example and it'll be a lot more clear. So say that we have a object Bucky, and I'm just gonna throw a real quick, I don't know, I'll make like a function like print first name. Let me add my semicolon. Alright, so we're gonna have one single function in here, a function, and what is this function gonna do? Well, it's just gonna log out two pieces of information. The first thing is we'll just say something stupid like my name is Bucky, just so this function doesn't feel completely worthless. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to log out one more thing right after this. I'm going to have a test, and I'm going to say, is this equal to Bucky? So let me type one line of code and I'll show you guys what's going on. If we take this object, Bucky right here, and we call the function print first name, remember that I told you guys in the very beginning of this tutorial, this keyword right here is just a reference to whatever thing is calling it. So, of course, we can see print first name, what's calling it? Well, Bucky's calling it. So this test is going to print out true. Simple enough. Of course, it logs my name is Bucky, and of course, it logs true right there. So again, one more time, this is just a reference to whatever thing or whatever object is calling it. Of course, we can see really clearly that Bucky is calling print first name. So that's easy enough to understand. I mean, it's right there in front of us. The only thing people get a little bit confused about is this. What happens when we make a function, if I type it correctly, alright. What happens when we make a function that isn't clearly part of any object? So like do something worthless. So we're making this function, and okay, it's not really like part or inside of any object. So if we were to start logging some crap out, let me just put a little indicator, be like I'm worthless, just so we have some text to print out. What happens is this. The default calling context, I'll actually write this, the default calling context is global. What this means is if we build a function and it doesn't belong to any object, it's global, which pretty much means your main entire program is going to call it. So this is no longer equal to Bucky. I'll just test if it's equal to global. So I'm going to call do something worthless and check out what happens. So of course, just like before, we kept that, already explained it. Now, when we call do something worthless, it's not being called by an object like Bucky was calling print first name. It's being called by, I don't know, what's it being called by, like the main program. Well, that refers to global. So that's why whenever we test it, this is equal to global. So again, one more time, this, like I said, is just a reference to whatever thing is calling it. It can be an explicit object, like we can see here, Bucky, or we can just call it through our main program, which means global, the global program. Simple enough. Thank you guys for watching, and probably gonna go eat some Hot Pockets now. See you guys next time.